Good morning, students. So, in the previous video, we started discussing the numerical sums on ray optics. In continuation with that, the ninth numerical sum: a screen is placed 90 centimeter from an object. The image of the object on the screen is formed by a convex lens at two different locations separated by 20 centimeter. Determine the focal length of the lens. So refer to the diagram. This is the given lens. It is to be placed at two different locations. Location 1, location 2. Object AB is the object and this is the screen. Object and screen distance is given 90 centimeter. It is to be fixed. When the lens is positioned at S1, the object falls in between f and 2f of the given lens. The image will be beyond 2f. The nature of the image what we get on the screen is a real, inverted and enlarged image is formed on the screen. When the same lens is shifted to position S2, the object falls beyond 2f of the given lens. Then also we get the image of the object on the screen. Nature of the image is real, inverted and diminished image is formed between f and 2f of the given lens. So the shift in the position of the lens is given, that is 20 centimeter. The distance between the object and the screen is 90 centimeter. And we are asked to calculate the focal length of the given lens. For that, focal length of the given lens, straightway you can make use of a relation connecting the focal length, screen object distance, shift in the position of the lens. Yes. So derivation of this formula is not there for the syllabus, but this numerical sum is in the textbook exercise. Straightway you can use this particular relation to work out the focal length of the given lens. So f equals to d square minus s square divided by 4d. Capital D is 90. Shift in the position of the lens is 20 centimeter. So on substitution and calculation, the focal length of the lens comes out to be 21.5 centimeter. So the object and the screen, distance should be more than 4 times of the focal length of the given lens to obtain the image of the object on the screen for two different locations of the lens. Okay. Further, a compound microscope consists of an objective lens of focal length 2 centimeter and an eyepiece of focal length 6.25 centimeter separated by a distance of 15 centimeter. How far from an objective should an object be placed in order to obtain the final image? At the least distance of a distinct vision, that is 25 centimeter. B, the image formed at infinity. What is the magnifying power? What is the magnifying power of the microscope in each case? So here given data is focal length of the objective lens being a convex lens according to sign convention, plus 2 centimeter. Focal length of the eye lens is plus 6.25 centimeter. Length of the microscope, compound microscope that is a sum total of object distance for image distance for the objective plus object distance for the eye lens. It is given 15 centimeter. Least distance of distinct vision, as we know, it is minus 25 centimeter. So capital D is equals to, we can write image distance for the eye lens. So we are asked to calculate the object distance UO. So you can visualize this particular sum with a ray diagram. Here objective lens of focal length 2 centimeter. Focal length is 2 centimeter. Object EB is the object is to be placed in front of the objective. Length of the microscope. VO is a image distance for the image formed due to objective lens. This is VO, whereas this is UE. VO plus UE is the length of the microscope, that is given 15 centimeter. Focal length of the eye lens is 6.25 centimeter. So here we have taken the diagram where the final image is formed at least distance of a distinct vision. So UE is object distance for the eye lens. V equals to capital D equals to minus 25 centimeter. That is the image distance for the eye lens. The image being formed at least distance of distinct vision. So given data is FO is given, FE is given, length of the microscope is given. So here you are asked to calculate UO, that is the object distance for the objective, or where the object is to be placed in front of the objective to get the final image at the least distance of a distinct vision. So here V is known, FE is known. We can calculate UE, that is the object distance for the eye lens. L is given, that is 15. We'll get UE. Thereby using this relation we can calculate the VO, that is the image distance for the objective. Using a lens formula, 1 by FO equals to 1 by VO minus 1 by UO, we can calculate the object distance UO. Okay. So here using a lens formula, 1 by FE equals to 1 by VE minus 1 by UE. FE, VE are known. We can calculate UE. 1 by UE equals to 1 by VE minus 1 by FE, or UE equals to VE FE, FE minus VE. Applying a sign convention, V is minus 25, FE is 6.25 divided by 6.25 minus of a minus 25, minus becomes plus 25. On simplification it comes out to be minus 5 centimeter. So the length of the microscope is VO plus UE, or VO equals to L minus UE. Length of the microscope is given 15, and the object distance for the eye lens is we have calculated as 5 centimeter. So no need to take this negative sign. Okay, so subtracting 15 subtracting 5 from 15, we get 10 centimeter. So VO, the image distance for the objective lens, comes out to be 10 centimeter. Knowing the image distance VO and focal length FO, we can calculate UO. Once again using the lens formula, 1 by FO equals to 1 by VO minus 1 by UO. 1 by UO equals to 1 by VO minus 1 by FO. So determining a UO, substituting for values for VO, FO, we get the object distance for the objective lens as minus 2.5 centimeter. So you have to take care that you have to apply the sign convention while substituting the values into the formula. So the UO comes out to be minus 2.5 centimeters. That is, object is AB is to be placed 2.5 centimeter in front of objective lens. So here refer to the diagram. AB is the object that is to be placed 2.5 centimeter in front of the objective lens of focal length 2 centimeter. Further, we are asked to calculate the magnifying power. We are asked to calculate the magnifying power. Magnifying power when the image is formed at least distance of distinct vision. The formula is minus VO by UO 1 plus D by FE. VO is 10. Once again, you no need to apply sign conventions while calculate the magnifying power. Straight away write the relation. Don't apply the sign convention. Keep this negative sign throughout. Substitute just the values. VO is 10, UO is 2.5, D is 25, FE is 6.25. On simplification, the magnifying power comes out to be minus 20. The negative sign signifies that the final image A double dash B double dash is always inverted. The final image is always inverted in a compound microscope. For image formed at infinity, first we need to discuss where the object is to be placed. That is UO. Once again, you have to calculate UO. The same steps we have to follow as in the first case, the image forming at least distance of a distinct vision. Thereby we have to calculate the magnifying power. So we have length of the microscope is a VO plus UE. The image being formed at infinity, the image formed due to objective lens falls at the principal focus of the eye lens. That's why UE is replaced with FE. Okay. VO is L minus FE. L is 15. Focal length of the eye lens is 6.25. So the image distance for the objective lens comes out to be 8.75 centimeter for final image to be formed at infinity. Again using the lens formula, 1 by FO equals to 1 by VO minus 1 by UO. We can calculate the object distance for the objective when the final image formed at infinity, which comes out to be minus 2.59 centimeter. Final image to be formed at a least distance of distinct vision, UO we have calculated as a 2.5 centimeter. For final image to be formed at infinity, the object distance for the objective comes out to be minus 2.59 centimeter. Thereby we calculate the magnifying power. Magnifying power M equals to minus VO by UO into D by FE. for image formed at final image to be formed at infinity. This is the formula for final image to be formed at least distance of distinct vision 1 plus d by fe, whereas magnifying power for image final image to be formed at infinity, it is just d by fe into minus vo by uo. Substituting the values, the magnifying power comes out to be minus 13.51. The negative sign signifies that the final image is always inverted image. In continuation with the numericals on ray optics, a small telescope has an objective lens of focal length of 144 cm and an eyepiece of focal length of 6 cm. What is the magnifying power of the telescope? What is the separation between the objective and eyepiece? So here given data, focal length of the objective is given, focal length of the eye lens is given. Magnifying power of the given telescope is the ratio of focal length of the objective to the focal length of the eye lens, which comes out to be 24. We are asked to calculate the length of the telescope. The length of the telescope is the distance between the objective and eyepiece. Telescope is used to see the distant celestial bodies. The light rays rendered from the distant celestial bodies is a parallel beam of light, or the object is at infinity. The image of that object is formed in the focal plane of the objective lens, that is a FO. So this image formed by the objective is made to fall at the principal focus of the eye lens with a rack and pinion arrangement. So object A dash B dash being at the principal focus of the eye lens, the final image will be at infinity. So the length of the telescope is sum total of focal length of the objective and focal length of the eyepiece, that is a FO plus FE. That's why the length of the telescope is FO plus FE, that is 144 plus 6, which is equals to 150 centimeter. Magnifying power is 24, whereas length of the telescope is 150. Further, at what angle should a ray of light be incident on the face of the prism? Of refracting angle 60 degree, so that it just suffers a total internal reflection at the other face. The refractive index of the material of the prism is 1.524. So given data here, refractive index of material of the prism N is 1.524. Refracting angle is 60 degree. Refer to this diagram. Here PQ is a incident ray. At what angle should a ray of light PQ, means this angle I1, you are supposed to calculate. At what angle should a ray of incident light PQ or incident light ray of light PQ make an angle at the face AB with normal of refracting angle of the prism 60 degree, so that the refracted light just suffers a total internal reflection at the other surface, that is AC. So instead of light emerging out of the prism, it has to just suffer the total internal reflection into the prism at the other face AC. Means you are asked to calculate at what angle a ray of light must incident on the surface of the prism AB for light to just to suffer a total internal reflection at the other face. So we have a relation connecting refractive index and critical angle n equals to 1 by sin C, or sin C is 1 by n, 1 by 1.524, which comes out to be 0.6561. You have to refer to the natural science table. From natural science table, we can calculate this C. C is critical angle. It is a sine inverse of 0.6561, which comes out to be 41 degree. For water, it is somewhere around 48 degree. For the case of glass, the critical angle is 41 degree. In other words, if a light incidents at the other face AC at an angle say 41 degree, then after refraction light grazes the interface, travels along the surface, common surface for both air and glass, that we call angle of refraction is 90 degree, provided if light incidents at an angle 41 degree. If the angle of incidence slightly increased 41 degree 1 second, then what happens? Instead of refraction, light suffers a total internal reflection. For angle of incidence be just greater than critical angle, that is a 41 degree 1 second. For 41 degree refraction, 41 degree 1 second, light suffers total internal reflection, and we are asked to calculate at what angle the light must incident on the surface AB. So while deriving the relation for refractive index of the prism in terms of angle of minimum deviation, we have come across this particular relation, that is refracting angle of the prism is sum total of R1 and R2. So here I1 is angle of incidence, R1 is angle of refraction at surface AB. At surface AC, interface AC, angle of incidence is C, R, this C we take it as R2, R2 equals to C only, R2 equals to C. That's why 41 degree 1 second, both are nearly same. 41 degree refraction, 41 degree 1 second total internal reflection. That's why we take the angle of incidence at the other interface AC as C only. That's why R1 R2 refracting angle of the prism is sum total of R1 and R2. R2 is C, R1 is angle of refraction at the first surface. That's why refracting angle of the prism is R1 plus C, or R1 equals to A minus C. A is 60 degree, C is 41 degree. So angle of refraction R1 is 19 degree. From Snell's law, refractive index of material of the prism is sin I1 by sin R1. We are asked to calculate I1. Sin I1 is n into sin R1. N is 1.524. Sin R1 is sin 19 degree. Therefore, sin I1 equals to 0.4962, or I1 equals to nearly 30 degree. So if light incidence at the interface AB at an angle 30 degree, then what happens here? The light suffers total internal reflection at the other face AC.